Welcome back to the channel. This is Gillis TV here today, folks, and we got some Miami Marlins designated for assignment. A pitcher. Yeah, it's not Chapman. I thought it was Chapman right when I started reading this article. It's not, as the Marlins have designated left-hander Daniel Castano for assignment. But before we get to that, make sure you hit that subscribe button as we are 54 away from our goal of 4,000, and thank you guys for all the support. If you like the whole MLB aspect, Dolany TV, Clemox, and myself have it here for you. So like I said, Daniel Castano was sent for assignment today, and that opens up a roster spot, and it will go to right-handed pitcher Johnny Cueto, who's previously reported 1 year $8.5 million contract has now been made official. Johnny Cueto was formally introduced this morning at Miami's Lone Depot Park. Castano, 28, was one of the 4 players the Marlins acquired in the heist that sent Marcell Ozuna to the St. Louis Cardinals in that big trade that they did there. Castano's 12.8% strikeout rate in the big leagues this past season was right in line with his career mark, but that was a bit odd to see given that he was also overhauled his pitch mix and experienced a sharp upstick in strikeouts in AAA. Castano moved away from his four-seamer and sinker in favor of the cutter, and he tossed a hefty 41%. In AAA, the shift in his repertoire perhaps contributed to a career-best 26.4% strikeout rate. That was necessarily in a tiny sample. Either Castano's 34 AAA frames were almost the exact match for his 35 and 2/3 major league innings this season. It stands to reason then that even if Castano won't see MLB strikeout rate climb to quite those same heights, there's perhaps reason to believe there's more bat missing ability in the tank than he's shown in the majors just yet. Unfortunately for Castano, injuries robbed him of the chance to display more of that new look cutter down the stretch. Castano landed on the shelf with a concussion in late July after being struck in the head by a 104-mile-per-hour liner. While he was working his way back from a frightening scene, the Marlins discovered a small tear in his shoulder. He didn't require surgery, but also did not pitch again in 2022. The Marlins will now have a week to trade Castano or attempt to pass him through outright waivers. He's on a minor league option, so any team that acquires him will carry him to the roster or else try to pass Castano through waivers themselves. That said, he's a lefty with a starter's pedigree and some success in the upper minors, solid command, and weak contact rates in the big leagues, and somewhat intriguing new pitch that has begun to lean on the past season. He can also control for 5 more seasons. It's certainly feasible that a pitching needy club could place a claim or work out a small trade to acquire Castano from the Marlins. So that's something we will keep an eye on for sure, is if Castano will get traded by the Marlins. They're probably more than actively looking for a trade. This is not a guy you just put on waivers, say, I'm done, and whatnot. This is a guy you're going to want to try and get something out of, even if it's a mid-tier prospect, cash considerations, anything. You're trying to get something out of this guy on the return of a trade. And, of course, Johnny Cueto is Johnny Cueto. He's not the same guy as he was years ago, but he's still an effective starting pitcher and will help this Marlins team in the rotation whichever way he can. I'm looking forward to seeing how Johnny Cueto will do with the Miami Marlins, after years with the San Francisco Giants. Now that's it for me today. This has been Gillis TV right here on Clemhawks. I'll catch you on the next one.